Hello. Good afternoon. Kevin Owasu Itoe here. Today, just wanted to chat a bit about empathy. Empathy, right? In particular, empath, right? Being an empath, right? I think empath stands for people who are very emotionally sensitive, right? I have just started looking into what is empath is all about, right? But I could tell you about myself, right? And you could try and see if there are people out there who probably know much on this topic, right? So I could tell you a bit about myself, and you could let me know if I am an empath or not. Yes, I am highly emotionally sensitive. In certain situations, I kind of can get other people's emotions. I can feel other people's emotions, right? And if I actually know those people and I can relate to them personally, right? Like in family, like my wife, my mom, our family, right? My sons and my kids, right? I can feel their pain or their joy, or I can feel their emotions, right? And if it's sad emotions, right, I get a gut feeling, right? Which is, that gut feeling doesn't go away until I talk to them, or we can actually talk through whatever they're going through, right? And it's been like this. I mean, even my mom says, when I get a bit merry, shall we say, not drunk, I go all lovey-dovey and stuff, right? That's not an empath. Could be a bit of an empath, but it's very sensitive individuals, particularly to emotion, right? And I feel that. I mean, I've had a relationship with my emotions for quite a long time, right? I could tell you stories. I could tell you how only a couple of days ago I pinpointed where the exact time I started having a relationship with my emotions and developing that relationship, right? When I was in Cameroon, I was in an all-boys boarding school, right, which was very disciplined. We used to get caned very often, right? Sometimes for not carrying out chores, right? You're given tasks in the morning to do before you go to before the start of the day, and if you didn't do those tasks in the evening, you got whipped, right? Looking back now, right? I developed a coping mechanism, a strategy, where by the time they got to me, I was so emotionally upset visibly emotionally upset and crying, right? That sometimes it just passed me by, and because they could not punish me anymore, right? Because I was already I wouldn't say a wreck, right? But I had to tap into something in me in order to get that visually upset, that I managed to escape a beating, right? So I looked back a couple of days, or just when I started talking about this emotional stuff, right? Emotional intelligence and empathy, and now we're talking about empath, right? Being an empath or not. I can pinpoint that's the exact point where, just for wanting to survive in an environment, right, I come up with an emotional strategy, right? I don't know what your thoughts are on that, right? But hit me if you got any thoughts on that. But I carried on, right? I carried on. I didn't survive that much. I mean, I didn't last that long in that college because I mean, it was very strict. I became sick, and my mom and dad took me out of the college and put me in another college. But that's not the point, right? The point is, that's the exact point I believe I started the relationship with my emotions, right? It started off on a sad point. And I've been through some sad times in my life, right? Losing my dad, my brother back in Cameroon, and we're moving to Scotland. I don't know anyone here. And, you know, I started looking inward and started looking at what makes people tick, what makes we behave the way we behave and stuff like that, because of all stuff that's been happening in my life, right? So I started reading books like Emotional Intelligence by, I think it's Daniel Goleman, and other books, right? And mind game books and, you know, psychological stuff. Yes, and I could talk a good deal about my emotions, how I've handled my emotions, how I could tell you stories, right? But as I say, if you got more light to share on this empathy or being an empath, right? Please do share. I've shared a little bit. Hopefully you have a lovely day, and stay blessed. Always stay with keeping your eye on the ball, you know, when it comes to being an entrepreneur and an employer or an employee, right? You have to keep your eye on the ball, see what's happening out there, and always prepare yourself for it, right? Which means always learn, always keep learning, and because learning is vital, right, for our survival and all that, and also keeping emotionally intelligent, right? Thank you. Let me know if I'm an empath or not. Follow my journey. I'm upskilling myself towards becoming a consultant within the automation sphere, right? So talk to you later. Kevin Owasu Itoe signing out.